for special events like this.
So no visitors?
No visitors, no. Just for our customer.
The entire video is going to be like, ah!
Italian Wine Podcast. Chin Chin with Italian wine people.
Welcome to a new installment of On the Road Edition hosted by Stevie Kim. Today is part 2 of Stevie's visit to Castello della Sala, Antinori's historic estate in Umbria. Stevie chats with Massimiliano Pasquini, the enologist and general manager of the winery, tasting and talking about export markets and the potential of Grechetto, Muffato, and their famed Cervaro.
Where are these wines distributed mostly? In Italy or in America?
Italy for us is a very good market. People love our Cervaro, in particular in the center of Italy. Rome, for example, is a good market. Usually we sell 60% in Italy and 40% we export, in particular in USA and in England.
In the UK?
In UK, yes.
What about in markets like, I don't know, Asia? Do they like your wines?
Asia is a good market, but we must improve. We must study better the Asian market, because people in Asia prefer red wine now.
So listen, let me ask you a question. So what is the difference, in your opinion, between like a Burgundy and Cervaro?
The difference is Cervaro is a more Mediterranean wine.
It is more Mediterranean. It's warmer?
Yeah, yes. Have a good acidity, but at the same time have more body than the Burgundy wines. Burgundy wines are more vertical. Cervaro is similar than Puligny-Montrachet, for example. It's depend of the vintage. In other years, it's similar than Corton-Charlemagne. But Cervaro is a more Mediterranean wine than Burgundy wine, white wines.
And what are the retail prices of these two wines, San Giovanni and Cervaro?
In our shops, the San Giovanni, the price is 14 euro. And Cervaro is 46 euro.
14 and 46.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's totally different, the price.
Yes, completely different.
Completely different, yes. We have two different wines, with different level of price and different level of quality.
Okay, so let's taste your sweet wines.
The sweet wines, the Muffato wines. Muffato vintage 2018.
Is this the current release?
Is it the current vintage? Yes. Because for Muffato we prefer release in the market after 4 years after the harvest. Because this Muffato is a wine made with a botrytis. Okay, it's good. Stevie, cheers with our Muffato.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. Muffato is a very special wine. It's possible to make this wine just because in Orvieto we have the perfect condition to have the noble rot, to have the botrytis.
So you have various grapes here, right? You were saying that you have the Sauterne blend, Sauvignon, and
yes, it is a blend between
Semillon.
5 different grapes we use for Muffato: Sauvignon Blanc, Semillon, Grechetto, Riesling, and Traminer. Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon are 2 grapes perfect for the noble rot. Grechetto to give the local print. Riesling to give acidity in the final blend, and Traminer to give the aromatic notes.
So in a wine tasting, how would you say your Muffato is different from a Sauterne?
But it's different because
in terms of the tasting profile.
The tasting profile is different because probably the aromatic part is more present than the Sauterne, because in Sauterne they use Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon, and we use just the part of Traminer. We have probably more concentration than the Sauterne wines, and we use less sulfite, because in Italy, to stop the alcoholic fermentation, it's not possible to add a lot quantity of sulfite. For this, in Italy, we cool the wine at 0 degree of temperature to stop the alcoholic fermentation.
Difficult to say, but it's lovely. It's a lovely wine.
Yes, because it's a sweet wine, but in the same time it's not too sweet, because the balance between sugar, acidity, and body aftertaste is the mouth is very clean.
Yeah, and also you have that like sage,
Yes.
Smell which you don't get in Sauterne. So I guess in that way you still have that, macchia mediterranea,
Yes,
that kind of.
Yes, and we prefer to release after 4 years from the harvest, because Muffato age in bottle minimum for 2 years in bottle, because we think the typical smell of botrytis is ready after 2 years of aging in bottle.
So let me ask you a question about the Antinori group, because Castello di Sala is part of the Antinori group.
Yes.
When you are, I guess, strategically aligning your marketing objectives, does it depend also kind of on the big picture, or are you completely autonomous?
No, we are a part of the group. We are a part of Antinori, because Antinori is a big family, but we have an artisanal approach. Each estate have the local director, have the local winemaker, the local agronomist, but at the same time we can ask to the CEO, Renzo, the development of the wines, the wine testing.
If you were to tell our audience, what Castello di Sala represents, what would you say? How can they remember Castello di Sala from the other wineries? What is so special about Castello di Sala? I mean, it has a great tower.
Castello della Sala is special because, for my opinion, is the best place to make white wine in Italy. Because in this area we have the perfect balance between acidity, alcohol, and I think with this soil we produce very, very good wine.
But do you think Orvieto suffers from kind of I suppose a reputation of having ageability, age-capable wines? Do you think that's a problem?
It's a problem, but I think with this job now, with the new people, probably the Orvieto wines never give up, and probably in the future people can understand the potential of this area.
Because what was, I guess what was surprising for me is that when you said Orvieto in the past was a very important white wine.
Yes.
In
the past?
In the past. And I feel, and that was why the Antinori family was interested in purchasing this estate, right?
Yeah.
But right now, Orvieto is not considered to be like the benchmark white wines. Right?
Because for a long time, people, the winery in general, don't produce good wine, but now we want to start again. We want to represent the potential of this area, and for this it's necessary to to make just good quality, and it's necessary to have people like you, for example, can talk about this to the world.
All right, well, thank you for having us.
No, thank you. Thank
It's
you,
a wrap.
Stevie. It's a big
Cheers.
pleasure. Thank you for this surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise
All
for
right,
me.
so it's a wrap, and see you soon on the road with Italian Wine Podcast. Chin chin.
Chin
Ciao,
chin.
ragazzi.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Thank you.
Okay.
And that's a wrap. For more fascinating stories from the world of wine, go to ItalianWinePodcast.com or find us on SoundCloud, Himalaya, Spotify, or wherever you get your pods. Don't forget to subscribe and like all our channels. Chin chin, and thanks for listening.